Hi, my name is Marcus Thornton, and I am serving as the Interim Chief Data Officer for the Office of Data Governance and Analytics. It's great to be with you today. I want to spend a little bit of time today talking to you about who we are, the Office of Data Governance and Analytics, and a little bit about what we do here. So, who are we? We are primarily a staff of data engineers, data analytics specialists, business intelligence specialists, project managers, data architects, data curators, and really all types of professionals that help us with the ecosystem really of data governance and data sharing. We are here to help agencies with their data sharing and really to help support the processes and applications that they use for data sharing. Now, just to give you a little background, the first Chief Data Officer was appointed in August of 2018. And since that time, there's been quite a bit of work on the back end, obviously, and on the front end to promote a lot of the data sharing efforts that we do today. I'm going to share a little bit of that with you today. So a little bit about what we do. We are here to help agencies with their data. We do that through data sharing. We establish and help to oversee what is called the Commonwealth Data Trust. This is the relationship between the data provider and us, the Office of Data Governance and Analytics. We serve as the trustee so that organizations can contribute data. And we do that through a common agreement that's been worked out through the vetting of the Office of Attorney General in Virginia. And so through the data trust, we are able to work with agencies so that they can share data with each other. Another thing we do is we manage the Open Data Portal. The Open Data Portal serves as really our platform for sharing open data. And so any assets or attributes that have been contributed, any data that's been contributed, or any metadata that you may see will be in the Open Data Portal. We serve state agencies, public entities, public institutions, nonprofit organizations, and constituents of Virginia. Really, the system, the ecosystem that we have built up promotes data sharing. And the hope is that we get contributions from all these agencies, from all these organizations, and really from all of our constituents of Virginia so that our constituents can really benefit from some of the data that's being provided, as well as these organizations. And so when we talk about data governance, our mission here at the Office of Data Governance and Analytics is to maximize the value of Commonwealth data through strategic governance, secure and appropriate data sharing and enterprise analytics services, informing actionable intelligence that helps really all of our constituents. And so when we talk about the value of data governance, a few things that we like to put in terms of a certain framework. One, data must be first discoverable, then governed before it can be usable. Second, data governance for the Commonwealth means deciding what data to focus on and how to manage it and who has the access. For us, that's very important. It's not just about the sharing of the data. It's about who has access to it and who should have access to it. And so that governance process becomes very important for us. And then thirdly, the results are better decisions and better business outcomes. And so for us, a couple of case studies that we like to highlight as we work with other agencies and organizations. We do certain things, not just data sharing. We help organizations with automation processes. We help them to find more efficient ways to process their data. One example here is with Virginia Department of Emergency Management. We work with them to automate a process where they were trying to reconcile their payroll. And so we were able to kind of help take their data, curate it as we always do, and find a more efficient process for them to be able to come up with some of their biweekly reports and numbers. The data governance framework that we work around, that we support, provides a certain oversight for us. One of those is the Virginia Data Advisory Commission. This is a commission that's set up for the purposes of providing really the recommendations to the Office of Data Governance and Analytics. It's chaired by the Chief Data Officer, 27 members, mostly elected officials, and they are here to help, as I said, assist the Chief Data Officer and the Office of Data Governance and Analytics in terms of some of the priorities, the planning, identifying the areas of opportunity for the Chief Data Officer to help promote data sharing, and really understanding the needs of agencies and organizations beyond just the standard day-to-day data sharing. You know, where are the opportunities? Where are the areas where we can help agencies find efficiencies in their data process or even back-end processes? The Executive Data Board is another board set up for oversight, set up to help, again, provide recommendations, but just a different makeup. This makeup is directors, chief executives of executive branches engaged with the Commonwealth Data Trust, appoint data governance council members, chaired by the Commonwealth Chief Data Officer. Also helps to provide Virginia Data Advisory Commission any reports on the board's recommendations and work as required by the commission. Another sort of checks and balances, as we like to say, in terms of oversight. And then the Data Governance Council, it will be set up to help us to oversee data sharing on mostly projects, but they will help us to govern the Commonwealth Data Trust as we determine, as we bring in more members. They will help to report on the progress on the projects that us, the Office of Data Governance and Analytics, we, the Office of Data Governance and Analytics, are working on to promote data sharing and help with data governance. And then the last sort of oversight group that we have is the Data Stewards Group, employees of executive branch agencies in data management and analytics. This group will be here to help us promote the increased data sharing between state agencies and localities. And we think this is really going to be an important group, because as we start to reach out beyond sort of agencies and start reaching out to more localities, that's really going to help us increase the backlog and really the repositories that we use as we start to integrate all of our data. And so as we talk about kind of that oversight, the roles and responsibility at each level for those boards, the Executive Data Board, Data Governance Council, you'll see at the tactical level what we're looking like, and then at the operational level, the Data Stewards Group. All of these groups are providing oversight to the Chief Data Officer and the Office of Data Governance and Analytics. So when we talk about data-driven outcomes, data-delivered results, we really want to get into the place where we're able to specifically identify projects and make really an impact on constituents and what agencies are working on. One example for us was the opioid epidemic, which really was the precursor to FACT, which is what helped create the role of the Chief Data Officer, was this particular project. As we went in to try to help assess and identify vulnerable areas as it relates to the opioid epidemic. This particular project is kind of what kicked off what we know now as the Office of Data Governance and Analytics and the Commonwealth Data Trust. From there, the FACT platform presents certain dashboards that we are able to leverage and our constituents are able to leverage. So it's really become a tool for not only data sharing, but analytics for everyone to leverage. Most of our work, most of our data that we consume ends up in some sort of report or a dashboard very much like this. And so our agency's response to the COVID-19 pandemic was one that really allowed us to work with many different agencies, and it really helped us to align a lot of what we do from a governance perspective. Our first and foremost responsibility was to help to consolidate the 35 health districts, the Red Cap surveys, so that we could generate what would be the vaccinatevirginia.gov website. But to consolidate that data required a certain level of oversight, obviously data curation from many different data sets, and that's kind of what we do. We bring in a bunch of data, we curate it, we de-identify it from the personal identifiable information, and then we make sure the data is standard so that it can be consumed. And as I mentioned, the FACT platform is really an example of how we take data and then build visualizations off that. That allowed us to gain sort of visibility and oversight, and really built momentum for where we are today and how we're leveraging things related to the COVID vaccine response. So, as we talk about, again, one of the things as we talk about data, data is not intelligence. And the reason we say this is, data is data, but how data gets interpreted becomes a whole different conversation. Our goal is to help people decipher what that data means by curating it, structuring it in a certain way, and presenting it in a way so that it can be deciphered. And so that's why we sort of say data is not to be it's to be sort of a separate part of how it's interpreted. In terms of some of the resources and the platforms that we have out here, we definitely promote the Virginia Open Data Portal, which we spoke about, launched in June of 2020 in collaboration with our partners at the Library of Virginia. And we offer this to really all of our constituents in Virginia and anyone who's interested in seeing, how open data looks and what the process is like. We offer the Virginia Open Data Portal for everyone. The Enterprise Data Catalog is an inventory of all of the Commonwealth's assets that's been contributed. If you have any questions about, metadata or what data, what the attributes of columns or fields are, or the values, that's what that's for. In partnership with that, we rely on our Commonwealth Metadata Dictionary used to really transform data into intelligence. But if you're into sort of the granular parts of data, metadata, we offer the Metadata Dictionary. And then DataSage is our platform where we help to govern sort of our governance process. We introduced that also back in 2019. And what that platform does is it provides sort of the metadata, but it also provides us a governance process for generating data trust user agreements for requesting data from other agencies, and really helps to secure our governance process. And then, as I mentioned, the Commonwealth Data Trust establishes the relationships between an agency or organization and the Office of Data Governance and Analytics. And so a few solutions that we offer is our covered. Covered is our entity resolution. Our universal index is a crosswalk table linking individuals across multiple systems without using their personal identifiable information. It's really sort of the heartbeat of our platform. As we collect data, we de-identify it, and we build really what is a repository of all Virginia's assets, so that if another agency or organization needs to link to it, there is a secure way to do so. We offer data intelligence as a solution. Our covers is our reporting platform for any sort of reporting or analytics that need to be created. And then for any data that is being contributed that needs to be more secure, we offer our Secure Connected Government Cloud and our Secure Data Enclave for any data that needs to be protected. And so, again, when we talk about the Commonwealth Data Trust, this document was created really as a universal agreement to promote data sharing between agencies. And when this was first being generated, what was happening is different agencies were getting into agreements with each other, and there was not really sort of a standard way to share data. And so what the Commonwealth Data Trust did was provide a common mechanism to share data, a dictionary, sort of a legend that talked about the oversight for the Commonwealth Data Trust, who are the members, what that means, how it's defined, how data gets secured, and really the projects that are associated with an agency contributing data. And so the Commonwealth Data Trust is really here to help reinforce the governance and the data sharing that happens in Virginia. A few of our partners and projects, our partnerships and projects, as we continue to grow and build out our infrastructure and really our governance process, we partner with a number of agencies and organizations with these projects. And we will continue to do so throughout, as we continue to grow. So I would encourage everyone to go to our website, odga.virginia.gov, and sign up for our newsletter on the website, Bits and Bytes. I want to thank you all very much for watching this presentation.